Good morning everyone, and welcome back to another day in the life video. I am heading off to clinic this morning and I am excited for this week because we should have one of our first big special opportunities to see another subspecialty within the pediatric inpatient realm, which I should be able to see on Tuesday, where I'll be heading into the NICU. So that will be really great exposure for myself to just kind of learn a bit more about the inpatient pediatric setting through seeing that subspecialty and see if it's potentially something that I would want to do in the future, since that is a pretty niche field. So it's good to get some experience before I am actually working so that I know if it would be something worth going for. But I'm excited to see what my patients did over the weekend, especially my long-term rehab patient that we've been working with on getting up and walking, to see how much progress we can make today. So I'll make sure to give you guys a big update once I'm done. Well, yesterday ended up being a pretty hectic day at clinic. We really were kind of doing a lot of drive-bys and trying to check in as quickly as possible with our patients, just because my clinical instructor had to get to a big meeting retreat that they were doing later in the day. So I was going to be with other therapists in the afternoon, but that opened up some opportunities to receive some more feedback on some of the skills that I've been working on, such as the kind of facilitation of gait with our new rehab patient and everything, which I feel like I was doing pretty well on. I was talking with the therapist that I was working with, and we determined that it would be good to kind of reduce the degree of step forward that they were taking during gait, and we actually helped improve their cadence quite a lot, as well as their gait quality. So it was just awesome to see that in action and be able to see the change that I make when facilitating have that impact right away on the patient. But outside of that, I also had one of my long-term patients that I've been seeing, not from rehab, but just one that I've connected with a lot and seen them grow quite a lot and actually recover to almost a full recovery. So it's good to see them go. But today I have the chance to go into the NICU, so I'm super excited for that and can't wait to show you guys everything I see. Yesterday, it was quite interesting getting the chance to be in the NICU for the entire day. I really got exposed to a lot of different aspects of care within that environment, which was definitely nice to kind of see for the first time and really get to see the kind of nuanced care that you get when you're in that setting, just because a lot of it is really working with the nursing staff during cares, like changing diapers, doing all of those regular things to try not to disturb the babies too much, while also getting in meaningful interactions throughout the day. And outside of observing the baby's movements and things like that during care, getting them onto the mat to kind of see how they do with tummy time, if they have preferences side to side, things like that. So it was good to kind of see exactly what they're looking for when they're doing their examination as a whole. And I actually had a unique situation where I feel like only really students can run into, where just because it was a busy morning and I was kind of an add-on to the therapist's day, which I greatly appreciate this therapist. They were incredible, very knowledgeable. They've been in the field for quite a while, so it was great to learn from them. But just because of how the day was set up, we didn't have the opportunity to do a lot of chart review before we went into most of the encounters, and as a result, we walked into a patient room and I was kind of like, oh, this is great, I'm being introduced, and apparently they hadn't received the best news, and me being in the situation of not knowing the full story, I had to kind of go into that care mode be really empathetic with them and try and listen, support them in the best way I could possible without knowing the full situation. So I thought that that was really unique, but a good thing to practice. And today I am heading back to being on the floor with the rehab team, so I'm excited for that and get to see how my patients did yesterday. Not too many major updates from yesterday, just because it was a fairly regular day, but it was a good regular day overall. Nice and busy, had people back to back, got things done in a good amount of time, and had some impact on our patients as a whole. I think the biggest thing from yesterday was the fact that I did have one of the patients I was working with. I hadn't seen them in a few days, and I'd only met them once before this point, but it was really incredible for them to provide a very kind compliment of the fact that I just have a very calming presence and that they need people like me in the hospital setting to really put people at ease. So that made me feel really good the rest of the day, and I hope to continue to have that impact on people today as well. That brings us to the end of week number 7. It's incredible how fast this experience is going, but I'm really looking forward to more and more of what I saw this week, where I had the opportunity to have more regular weeks, not as much new, but also having new opportunities, such as going to the NICU for that day, where I had a great experience, got to learn a lot about that subsetting within the area that I'm practicing in, and just getting to know more about the physical therapy practice as a whole and how broad it can be. But that's all that I have for this video. We're working harder and harder for our NPTE studying because that's coming down to the wire, considering that we are within 3 weeks of exam day for the NPTE, which is so crazy, but I'm feeling relatively okay for it. My exam scores have slowly been increasing over time, and now that I am really getting to the point where I've reviewed all of the base content, I'm really hitting the content areas that I have a lot more trouble with and just haven't gotten into my brain. So I think that we're on a positive foot with that. And next week we are starting our week number 8, which means that by the end of next week, we will be halfway through clinical experience number 3, which is totally insane, but I'm excited for what the second half has to offer, and I'm interested in seeing how my clinical instructors think I'm doing and what feedback I can get for that. So if you're interested in it, make sure to look out for the video next week. If you want to hear more about my NPTE updates, make sure to look out for those videos as well. Every Thursday I'm posting those, along with my day in the life videos, like this one on Mondays. If you want to check out my link in the description for 20% off a Picmonic subscription, feel free to, and utilize their 5-day free trial to see if it's right for you. But thank you all so much for watching. This has been KB DPT, and I'll see you all in the next video.